right. So, you already know who I am. I'm Ebony. I've never done a Zoom interview, so this is the first. Usually, like, I get the questions and I just type them up and I send them back. So this is the first, but I actually like this because I like to see who I'm actually speaking to and put a face to the name. So
Yeah.
So one of them was, what is a day like in your position for the company and brand? So with Kayaire, it's really, really busy because it's just me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just me. I do everything. I get somebody to help me with the websites, but I do the websites. I answer all the emails. I do the printing, the packing, even when I started with the labels. This is my first business. So nobody told me that I needed like a ticker on the label so the machine could see where it ends. And so I'm hand putting the labels on every product. So it's really, really busy, but it's so fulfilling because it is my baby.
Yeah, I would say like it's just you. So that's very like everything is done by you, everything is seen by you, especially before getting sent out.
Yes, yes. But I am human and I do make mistakes, but when I do, I definitely make sure that I make it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I let them keep whatever they have and I'll put something extra in there. Like, I'm all about the customer service.
Can you tell me more about like your product itself?
So I have the gel cleanser, a toner, the moisturizer, and the polisher, which is an exfoliator. All of them are infused with CBD. All of them do not strip your natural oils because I have psoriasis. So I really wanted to make sure that I found something that didn't strip those oils and make sure that it's retaining and to help soothe your skin issues, whether it be psoriasis or eczema. What's also good about my product in CBD is that with hyper-pigmentation, it helps with that as well.
Okay, cool. That'll probably help my skin. So the CBD background comes from just like a product you needed for yourself as well, and you expanded on it for other people, for other like skin benefits. How did you go about finding CBD to infuse in your products?
So it was crazy. So since I was diagnosed with psoriasis, the dermatologist was always putting me on steroids. I have so many steroids in my cabinets, like the creams, from very, very high to low dosage, just to find something. And so I was actually Googling natural remedies to help with my psoriasis. And that's when I came across the CBD. And I noticed that there wasn't that many Black owned with skincare. And the ones that were out there, not the Black owned ones, but the skincare brands that were out there that did infuse, they weren't gearing or even thinking about minorities when it came to marketing. And I just felt, I was like, wow, well, the benefits, I used to just put it like in my regular cleanser and I would just like shake it up and I would use it like that. But the benefits with it is it's so good for the skin. And I feel like we were missing out.
And then you made a product that you
And then I made the product. Yeah, I went through a lab and we did a lot of testing and they formulated and they'll send me different batches of what I asked for. So yeah, then I made it.
When exactly did your company start? Like the year, the day?
So I launched in February of this year.
Okay, cool.
I just launched in February of this year. Yeah.
You say you went to a lab, you got all the testing and then a product for yourself as well. How did you go about expanding to more than one skincare product?
So I knew that I'm like a skincare fanatic. So I'm a skincare and a makeup fanatic. So I hate when like I get something and they only have the cleanser or they only have the moisturizer. And I'm like, yo, I want to use the whole thing. I want to use everything that has the type of ingredients because they complement each other.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I was like, okay, well, I don't want to just put out one. I just want to put out a whole line, and then I can gradually expand to like a serum or something like that. But I was like, I at least wanted to have the basic cleanser, toner, moisturizer, exfoliator.
And with seeing that it is a skincare product and it is packaged and sent out, how would you say COVID has like affected that process, whether it be for like material, like back shipments, or just like sales rising or getting lower, or even like thinking about even new skincare products to add to your line?
Mm-hmm. So it's affected a little bit because I did just launch in February. So I was just kind of getting my brand out there and in the hands of customers. I know I do want to expand, but right now the lab that I use, they're doing sanitizer, like hand sanitizer, and they have like a back order of everybody else's stuff. So I really just sat there and I was like, okay, well, I'll just deal with this. And then, once hopefully this COVID goes down, so, and then also I work and I'm an essential personnel. So with the COVID and we having non-essentials not at work, I do work a lot now and I have to put in the extra hours. So it just, the time, I'm up late trying to make sure I get the orders out. So I think that's one of the things that was hard when it comes to the COVID. I mean, I haven't really had an issue with mailing. I try to always make sure I do like 2 or 3 day shipping. I did have, because I always go through to make sure that people receive their orders. I check every tracking number to make sure that it was received. And I did see some that took a little longer than usual, but I really haven't had too many issues with product or me getting my shipping boxes or something to that nature. But what has been good is that a lot of people are ordering online now.
Yep.
So I did see an increase in sales when it comes to my product and, supporting Black businesses and just people willing to sample, like influencers willing to sample without me having to pay.
Yeah.
Because they're expensive. And I mean, I don't knock anybody's hustle. So if I'm able to do it, I'll do it. But I have seen an increase of sales during this COVID. Maybe for online.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. And like the social media platform helps. Because like looking at the Instagram is just like so aesthetically pleasing to look at as well. That's also like a great thing, I would say, because when everybody like looks at like a new product or like the way it's like the texture shown is like really important, and like your Instagram feed definitely like covers it all to make sure people know what they like are getting.
Let me tell you, I am not good at Instagram. So like I've stopped my personal Instagram to just do my business one because I can't do 2. I work too much and I have kids. So
okay, wow.
Yeah, I have 4 boys.
Oh, just boys, no girls.
All boys.
Oh my god. 4, oh my god. I can't even think about that. There's like 3 of us, but it's like 2 girls and a boy. So my mom has like her little baby.
Yeah, it's pretty busy in my house, but they love seeing me do my business stuff. They love it. They're all like, oh, my mommy has this and she owns a business. And I'm like, okay, thank you, baby.
Your team.
Yeah, they're my little cheerleaders.
How would you say, because like you have 4 boys, Black Lives Matter movement is happening, and a lot of people are discussing like the cannabis industry in a sense, like, because cannabis is like becoming medical and recreational in a lot more states, but a lot more people are still like incarcerated for like cannabis felonies. Like, how do you feel the cannabis community goes about like introducing itself or welcoming like minorities, like, because you said it before, like there wasn't a product for you or people of like minorities, like, because I like once you said that, I was like, I totally get that. Like, I was like, yeah, it's so hard for me to like find a good product or like a product affordable. Like, how do you feel reflecting on that at this time in the like cannabis industry, like welcoming you in a sense, if you got that?
So yes, so when I first launched, I did like a pre-launch, and I remember hitting up or contacting a lot of cannabis women, cannabis owned companies, and they were actually very, very open. And it was surprising, but they were very open, they were very welcoming, some of them, not all, but some of them were. And they were willing to help me grow my following.
Oh.
They would share stuff. So I haven't had an issue with that, but I do feel that some of them lack the knowledge on how our men and women are incarcerated for cannabis felonies and still in there, even though it is now legal. I try not to get into too many conversations with people that lack that knowledge, because sometimes they're not open to just hearing it out, to know that there's different points of views, so. But the women were very, very open, and not too many men. I mean, sometimes they don't even really see CBD in a beauty product as an actual cannabis product. I have noticed that.
Yeah.
I have noticed that. They're like, no, we mean real weed, or real marijuana. And I'm like, well, it is CBD, so.
It's a part of it. It's like, everybody just thinks of like the actual like plant and like that's it. And that's like the part of like bro culture is like just people like smoking like all the time versus like the actual health benefits of like the oils.
Yeah.
Especially like how you're saying right now, like the whole argument of medical use. People are arguing. Your brand reflects on the medical use in a sense because it is skincare. How do you feel about that, especially because you were saying like a lot of men weren't open to it? How would you reflect on the confidence and like the building of your skincare line?
I feel eventually they're going to get open to it.
Okay.
I do. I really feel eventually. I mean, cannabis is going to make a lot of money. It's going to make a lot of money. And I feel that they will have no choice but to evolve. And it is more than just smoking it.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends that have, what is it called? Fibromyalgia.
I'm not too sure.
No, well, I think that's how you say it. So it's like they're always in pain. It's like their nerves.
Okay.
Yes. And my friend, she actually smokes it, and she uses like the creams to help, because she's always in pain and it helps her, so I feel like they are going to evolve. It's going to evolve, and they're going to come around, and they're going to see. They're going to, because I feel like the women, we're going to take over, because there's not that many women within the industry. So it's really good to see. I've met a lot of good women via social media, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait.
I know. I constantly have, because I've been interviewing like strictly women this whole time of my internship, and everyone like reflecting on the men being open to women in the industry, or just like seeing different products, different crafts within the cannabis world, everybody constantly thinks it's just a dispensary, just like the actual plant. And it's like there is a new like opening to the cannabis world, and it is like through skincare products, through oils. And I'm also working like with a restorative justice section. So a lot of the people that are cannabis moms that I am talking to are of an older age that, just like your friend, use medical-based marijuana, but they would use it the night before to sleep. And then one person had gotten into a car accident, but it was the other car's fault. But they did like a whole drug testing thing, and he still had like the numbers from the night before, like when he uses the cannabis to go to sleep. So that's how he got his felony, even though it was like medical based.
Yeah, that's really sad. It's really sad because, I mean, did he have it like prescribed? I guess would be.
It was, It was for PTSD. So he literally just used it to sleep.
Okay. Well, yeah, I feel like that's crazy because if it's prescribed, I mean, I guess it would kind of be like me taking oxycodone, right? And I take it at night, knowing I'm not supposed to drive, so I take it at night.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's still not out of my system and something happens. So I guess you could kind of put it to that perspective. But I definitely feel like the legal system needs to get on board. They need to get on board. They need to get on board. They know they probably use it too. They know they probably do. For anything, they can have some joint pain, arthritis, because it helps with that. So yeah, Phil, that's crazy. That's really sad that he got a felony and it was prescribed. That's really, really sad.
A lot of my interviews are like that, where it's like medical based, and they still like get a felony for it, depending the circumstance of what happened. So a lot of these cases are like just trying to get sealed or completely expunged. And that's also another like reflection of the cannabis world is you decided to use CBD in your products. Like, how do you think like your friends and family around you like took like that information or that news when you decided to do that? Like when you were launching?
So my family smokes. So they were all on board, and actually who was, because I didn't tell them yet, and then I was going through it with my stepmother. And I was talking to her about it. She was like, you know what would be a good idea? And I was like, what? She was like, to infuse CBD. And I was like, I was already thinking of that. So yeah, my family is definitely on board. My family's really, we're from California, so.
Okay, cool. That's definitely supposed to be in.
Yeah, we're from California, so we're very free spirit out here. So I didn't have any issues there, none at all.
So you're saying very free spirited out there. So that just reminds me of like when somebody sees your brand, like what do you want their like initial like opinion to be, or just like the core values that you want to portray in your product?
So I want their initial opinion to be, just from looking at it, is that it's luxury and simple. Because that's what I wanted to provide to my customers. I feel like we deserve a luxury brand. Why can't we? And why do we have to pay all that money for it to be luxury and have good ingredients in there? And then what was the next question?
Just like the core values of your brand.
So the core values for my brand is that I want to provide good ingredients, safe ingredients for women and men. And it's specifically for minorities. However, everybody can use it. And that's what I'm going to provide. And that's what my brand is going to provide. And that's what we're always going to provide.
You launched in February, relatively new. You would like to provide to everyone, but you do have an initial audience that you did make the product for. Would you ever go into wholesale for your product, or have you gone into wholesale for your product?
So I have been approached for wholesale. Since I am a new business owner, when I was approached, that wasn't something that I was thinking of when I started my line. So I have been reached out to, I have given some samples. So it could be in the works, it could not. It just depends on how they feel and if they want to. But I am open to doing wholesale.
Okay. When you're saying you're open to wholesale, you were approached at the beginning. It just wasn't an idea just yet because you were just starting out. When somebody approaches you with wholesale, what kind of companies would you want your product to be in wholesale? Like, especially since you have like a specific audience that you want your products to be sold to and made for. So a lot of companies I've talked to, there was situations where, for example, I was doing a geopipe. It was like artistry of geopipe for cannabis to like pretty much smoke like a bowl, but it could also be like decor for your house. Like that's how abstract it was. But when she went into wholesale with one company, they saw that it was cannabis industry related. So they completely like were just like, no, like never mind, like we don't want to be associated with that. How would you want your like products, like what companies would you want it associated with?
So I do want to stick with companies that are beauty brand related. I have had some actual cannabis companies that have approached me that are in stores, and then I had some that are just strictly online. Um, I do let it be known that it has cannabis in it. I actually haven't even had anybody that wasn't cannabis related that wanted to wholesale. It's always been companies that were cannabis, whether it be the creams, um, facial creams, or the pain creams, or something like that. They've all of them have been cannabis related.
Okay, cool. That's perfect then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with the cannabis world, there's so many different new things coming in the cannabis industry, so people have to be open to it. A lot of people aren't, so that's like, I'm happy to hear that. When you think of your brand, like what was like the moment where you're just like, oh my god, this is so amazing, like I'm so excited, like what makes you feel like that for your brand? Like what was the highlight of your brand for you?
So the highlight for me was the launch. When I launched, I did like a nice, I wanted to do something big, but I ended up doing like a really intimate dinner with just friends and family. And then I think I got that feeling, I would say maybe a month ago. That's when my sales really, really spiked. That's when I started getting amazing reviews. And it's the reviews that was like, oh my goodness. Like, I love that they're loving it, that they're seeing a difference in their skin. Um, I love that they're seeing what I see, because I use my product all the time. So I love that they're seeing what I see and the difference that it can make. That's when, so I would say like a month ago is when I felt that.
And when people are looking at your products, like obviously it's online, so you can't really like talk to them like you would in a store. Just when somebody buys it, what would you say about your product? Like, because you're also a consumer of your own product, what would you tell another person that's looking into buying it?
Another person that's looking into buying it, I actually do have people who reach out to me, and I do reply. I try to reply to everybody. But I'll tell them to just try this. They'll ask me like, hey, what's, this is my issue. What do you think I need? Of course, I'm going to say, oh, get the whole line, right? But I also tell them, I'm like, okay, well, you definitely need a cleanser. You always got to make sure your skin is cleansed. And then I guess depending on if they wear makeup, I'll do the toner. You should always tone, but some men and women don't tone. But I would definitely tell them that this is the product that if you have an issue with your old line stripping oils, this is the product that's for you. If you have the dry skin, this is the product that's for you. If you have the hyperpigmentation, definitely get the moisturizer, because that is what's going to help with your hyperpigmentation. I get a lot of those questions.
Yeah, especially because it's not like such an intimate setting for you.
Yeah,
and it's like your baby.
Yeah, I do. I get a lot of those questions, and I love answering them, especially when I do like post new pictures and stuff, or other people using it and they post videos. They'll hit me in my inbox or on my website. I guess they can send me like a little message on there, and they'll ask me what is the best thing for them, or what's my favorite, and then that's what they'll get.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I don't know. I was looking at your products, and like you keep saying hyperpigmentation, and I'm like thinking about my own face, because I just graduated from college, so I still am like
complexions.
I'm like, oh, I don't know, because like right now is not the best time to be graduating from college. I'm like trying to apply for everything, and I'm like just thinking back to like in college, I didn't get acne until college, so I never knew how to deal with acne, because I was always just like I have to just wash my face and then put like witch hazel on and like call it a day. And then when I did get acne in college, I got like the dark spots, because being of a darker complexion, that happens easier with the sun. Yeah. So when you say that, I'm just like, oh my God, like I really want to try this product. Like I want to see what it's going to do for my skin, especially with the CBD infused in it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just like amazing, because I feel like even with like makeup, like I don't know, do you use Fenty, or of Fenty, how they have way more shades in their foundation that actually like help people. Like when I hear you talk about the audience that you're approaching, it makes me feel like more comfortable, because there isn't a lot of products that worry about different complexions of skin or different minority groups at all. So I would say your product, would you say it's universal, even though you're still trying to target a certain audience in a sense?
Can everybody use it? Yes. But did I make it specifically for everybody? No. I made it for our skin, Black and brown. But I have some customers that aren't Black and brown that use it and love it. One of my customers said that it helped with her pregnancy marks and helped fade her pregnancy marks. So everybody can, but my main focus when I was making it was me and you.
Exactly. A lot of products just want to be able to like target everybody, because people just want to sell. Like people are just like, oh, I want to sell to everybody. But like smaller companies, like your company, is more intimate and like has a more meaningful product, and just like including a certain group of people to make them feel better and find a product for themselves when they can't find anything else, which is really good. You have 4 sons. When you opened up your brand, you said your family smokes, and then you have 4 sons. I'm not too sure how old they are, so this is just like open-ended. How would you say that you think or don't think how it reflects on your sons? Like, do you think you would want them in the cannabis industry? Would they be open to it? Like, how do you feel when you say, oh, I have CBD like products, like to other moms because you have kids?
They're actually, well, this is California. So the other moms, now I work a lot, so I don't really socialize with too many moms, but the moms that I do, because my kids play football, I told them about it and they were really, really interested, and a lot of them were already using it I had one mom, she was using CBD because her son is allergic to everything. Okay. And she used CBD, but she used the drops for her son to help with that, and it actually helped. So they're really, really open. And I think my children, my younger 3, so I have a 12, a 10, an 8, and a 3-year-old. Okay. My oldest is autistic. So I don't know if He's very observant,
Mm-hmm.
but he's kind of like in his own world. So I just let him do his own thing. He's like a drawer and stuff. But my other three, well, not the baby, because he doesn't know anything. But my other two, I think that they would, I don't know if it would be cannabis in general, but I do know that they would do entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Period. One of them, he's like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, and I'm all for it. I'm like, come on, let's do it. You know, let whatever you want to do, you can do it. So I wouldn't say cannabis in general, but entrepreneurship just because they see me do it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And being in California, like that makes it so much easier. How do you think your brand, or how do you think going into the cannabis industry from a different state perspective, do you feel like it would have been more difficult? Do you feel like because you're in California, it was a lot easier for you, more embracing for you, and something that you already knew?
Mm-hmm. I definitely feel it was more embracing for me because I am in California. However, because mine is luxury and I tried to give that luxury feel, I think that's where it was different because a lot of the cannabis products are holistic. You know, they look holistic.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't look like that. So I think that's the only difference. But other than that, it was really easy just being here in California.
That's great because I know, like, here I live in New Jersey, and then I also am always in New York on the weekends. So I'm just like, with the cannabis industry, it's a little bit harder because
Mm-hmm.
YPD, Black Lives Matter, and even previous to that, when everybody wasn't like paying specific attention, there's a lot of felonies. There's a lot of you can't smoke or you can only have so much weed on you. And then in California, it's like dispensary. Well, in my head, I've never been to California. So like when you think of California, it's like, oh, there's a dispensary like on every block. So it's normal. Okay, so there we go. That's exactly.
I have a couple that's like right down the street from me. And it's really, you'll see billboards about dispensaries. It'll say it's this way. It'll have like the arrow and everything. So it's really, really, yeah, it's like on every block.
Okay, so then now that has been verified. I'm still waiting to go to California eventually. So I feel that. Being 23, in my perspective, just graduated, what's some advice you would give to other people starting out in the cannabis industry that you wish you had?
I would definitely say research, research, research. With CBD, there's not, I mean, you always have to get like your analysis report and stuff like that, the COA, when you are getting your stuff. However, when it comes to, let's say, growing, that's a whole different ball game. It's like way more expensive. You have to have additional license and pay additional taxes. I recommend everybody have a business plan because you need to be able to, what I did was, especially when I started, I kind of like one-lined everything. I'm like, okay, I've done this. Okay, oh, there we go. Let me cross that out. I've done that. And then what also helped me is a brand identity. So with the brand identity, I was able to kind of like, I didn't do my own website. I'm not computer savvy at all. So I had somebody else do it. And what I did was I gave them my brand identity. And after that, they knew exactly what I was looking for, from font to colors, because it has the actual number of the color, to everything. So business plan, I'm sorry, for legal, for your legal aspect of your business plan, and brand identity. Those are the main things, I think, for anybody who's wanting to start in any type of business, whether it be cannabis or hair. You need to have those things down. in order for you to be successful.
And when I first looked at your Instagram, because what I do is I search through multiple cannabis Instagrams as an intern to find new companies to reach out to. What really caught my eye was your packaging, and just like the colors you used for your packaging are just very vivid and out there versus like brands sticking to like the the usual beige or just like a neutral color. And it just looks like every other product. Like your packaging looks very different, really nice, like just like something pretty to have like in your skincare section. How did you go about picking your packaging, especially talking about brand identity? Like what was your process and what were you thinking when you picked the color of your packaging? Like what did you want to portray with the color that you decided to use?
So I told you that I wanted luxury yet simple. So that's how I came up with the labeling. With the Meller Boxes colors and like my logo colors and stuff like that, that's actually the colors of Psoriasis Awareness Month.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I came up with those colors, because I knew that that was what I wanted to gear my product with or for.
That's amazing. I would have not gotten that if I never spoke to you. And just like to close off with the interview, what are your future goals for your company and your brand, especially since you're saying that you have about 5 more years to retire?
So I want to, of course, I want to add on. I do. I want to add on to the line. I have some things in mind to add on, but I don't want to go too fast because I did just launch. I want to eventually be in stores like Ulta and Sephora and Credo and stuff like that. That is within my business plan. That is within my long business plan. And I'm willing to do the work to make sure that it's successful and that I get there.
Perfect. I'm so happy for you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Looking forward, especially this time. I just opened my own business too, like about a month ago, and I still don't like have a website, and I'm still like super nervous, like every time I get an order, because I make everything myself. Just like you're a one-woman show when it comes to your product. I'm very happy, and I'm definitely excited to buy some products for my skin. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you, Victoria.
Meeting you too.